Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to Ginseng Matters with Roy, your favorite YouTube channel where you get to learn, relearn, and unlearn from different aspects of life. And guys, I really want to welcome each and every one of you, both our old viewers and our new viewers, and people that will be joining us live today, or possibly you'll be watching the replay of our conversation today. You all are welcome. And once again, it's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. And today we'll be having an interesting and practical conversation. I'm sure you're going to enjoy every bit of it. So, guys, if you can see me clearly and you can hear me audibly well, don't hesitate to share this video out to your friends, your colleagues at work, your siblings, and any other person that you know could benefit greatly from the discussion today. Tell them that yes, we are live. And guys, I am not the only one here in the house. I have with me here our special guest, Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Bolaji. Kindly join me in welcoming them. Thank you very much, sir and Ma, once again for the opportunity to have you with us live and direct on the show today. We really appreciate it. And before we continue, before we just dive into the discussion today, we'd like you to kindly introduce yourself, especially for the sake of people who do not know you and people will be seeing you for the first time today. Over to you, Sain Ma.
Good morning. Greetings to everyone wherever you are. My name is Fola Bolaji, and here is my wife Bumi. She's with me. We are built based in Boston. We appreciate the host for inviting us on this show once again, and we are glad to be here. We hope and trust that we'll be able to share together as friends. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir, for that brief introduction. And guys, straight away, just straight to the talk today. Today, as you can see from the flyer a few minutes ago, we'll be looking at something uh practical, something timely that is happening right now. And that's striking a balance between technology and our marriage lives. You see, live and direct from the flyer, from I do to Wi Fi. Guys, we are in the digital age and there are lots of distractions out there. There is virtually nothing you are looking for that you not get on the internet. And whether you like it or not, one way or the other, this is a distraction. And for our jobs generally, even our marriages. Imagine couples living under the same roof and then yet they are far apart. Everybody has one device or the other. The husband is checking, is working on the laptop, the wife is busy with the iPad, and the kids are busy with the phone. And it's like, oh, what's happening? We are together physically, but we are not even connected in any way emotionally. Everyone is just on their own. So where is the connection? And that's why that's the essence of today's discussion. Let's see a way by which you can strike a balance such that we will not be drifting apart, such that we can awaken the first love that we had for each other the first day we saw one another and we're like, oh, this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. All right, guys. Okay, so don't forget to share this video out to your friends and any other person that you know is going to benefit greatly from this discussion. So, Ma, I think we need to address the fact that in this digital age, there are lots of distractions. And basically, we want to look at how it is a distraction even in marriages.
So, where do we start from? Very interesting topic. Um, okay. So thank you for bringing this topic and from I do to Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
and and let's see Wi-Fi from the angle of technology
Yes.
because being in computer field, I know that Wi-Fi is one way. to connect to internet. There are many other ways, but Wi-Fi made it easier all over the world that you don't need to run cables, you don't need to run any cord to your house before you connect to the internet like the other days. But the challenge is bringing technology close to you. So we are in a world where the closest thing to almost every literate person is the gadget, mobile phone. Like before somebody will say good morning to your wife or say good morning to your husband, sometimes, somehow, people will first read messages on their phones or they will first quickly check one or two things on their mobile technology. So this is a new era. This is the new generation. This is the new normal. And now we are exploring how is this affecting marriages? How is this affecting relationships? Relationship between spouse, relationship between parents and children, relationship between friends and associates. Technology has come to stay. We cannot shy away from that fact. But how do we control it? How do we make use of it in the best possible ways? And that is, I believe, what we are talking about. And it's a broad topic, a sensitive topic, but possibly we can identify areas where we feel as children of God, as people that are in relationship, how is this thing affecting us? And what can we do about it? And are we, just like the intro, there are many things that we talk about, but I want us to be taking them one after the other. Many relationships that have been scattered because of social media, because of private messages, because of long lost, how do I call it, people that you are infatuated towards sometimes ago, but they call them, there's a name for them, but I will remember maybe along the line.
Mm.
So crush, yeah, they call
Ah,
them crush,
crush.
a crush on somebody. Maybe when you were in secondary school, there was somebody that you were thinking about, but you didn't have the time or the opportunity to take your friendship to the next level. And technology came, and you think,
Mm.
oh, this is an opportunity to reconnect with this long lost crush. This has affected a lot of homes. This has broken marriages. There are even some situations that people make new friends and they connect on social media and they took it to another level and it affected their relationship, their marriages. How do we handle this? Let me also allow my wife to chime in with any kind of introductory statements.
Well, I think I will start by saying that this is a topic that comes close to home. I remember in the introductory aspect when Saroda was talking, she mentioned like everybody has a gadget, and in our family, everybody has a gadget, not just one. Like I don't even have like a single laptop. Like talk of, I think Smith was just a year and a half when he had like an iPad. So everybody in the family has a gadget. And but the point I want to make from that is that the gadget is not the problem. The balance and the control is the challenge. A long time ago, I
Exactly.
read an article where they were talking of infidelity. And one of the infidelity they mentioned was technology infidelity, because they realized that there's some couples, like I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, but the picture that was put in the front of the article was the husband and wife were on the bed, and each of them were just like having their laptops on their lap, and that was what they were like communicating with. So in that article, they were emphasizing the fact that even when the man is not outside with another person, on that laptop is with another person, the wife is with another person
Mm.
communicating and stuff like that. So I just want to make mention of that point, that the gadget is not the problem, the technology is not the problem. Of course, technology makes things easy for us, but it is the control. That is the challenge. It is when we are not able to balance how we use all of those things that it becomes a problem. And I think gadget is even um, of less. I think the number one challenge in my own point of view is social media. People who have like every social media handle, and if they are not able to control it, they are just in a world that is existing outside their physical space every time, and there's one person or the other to like communicate with, or something to do, a video to watch, a news to read. Something is happening every time, so we have an overload of information in this generation, and if there's no control, it becomes a serious challenge for individuals. And another point I want to also mention is there's a difference when technology is your work and when it is not your work. So it is not like every time someone is like engrossed with like, oh, every time I see you, you're on the computer. It might not be that the person like um is just like engrossed with technology. It can also be work. So I think there's a lot of ways that we can look at this, but balance is very, very important in this day and age.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir and Ma, for that, for those contributions. Like Sister Bumi said, there are different ways by which technology has been affecting marriages. And like Sister Bumi also shared about social media, you know, there have been marriages where both husband and wife have been growing, they've been like together in the marriage. And all of a sudden, maybe either of the spouses just come across a particular family on social media and like, oh, if this husband is behaving, is treating his wife like this, why can't you do the same? And the husband too is like, oh, if this person's wife can be submissive, can be this loving, can be this romantic, why can't my wife do the same? Comparison. And there are still other ways by which technology, social media is affecting couples. There are another instance is an instance where we've seen spouses, the husband or the wife, small thing, oh, put on social media. This one, social media. That one, social media. And before you know it, people watching are beginning to say different things, and their marriages is beginning to act based on feedbacks from people seeing posts like that. So, firstly, before we consider ways by which we can strike and maintain a balance, I would like us to share one or two practical ways by which technology, social media is really eating up, is really eating into marriages in this digital era.
Okay. So let me quickly start by even before marriage. I remember I've been in some circles, I've been to some villages before that when they want to take when they want to bait the kids, they bait them in the open, maybe in the yard, at the backyard, or in front of the house, because those guys are kids. They're like 3 years old, 4 years old, even up to 5 years old sometimes. It's in the village. But by the time those kids begin to turn to 10, 12, they're like, no, 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 no. I have to go into the closet. I have to go into the bathroom. Maybe it's made of grass or of a roofing sheet or something. They cannot bath in the open any longer. It's so common that we have situations where people that looked mature, grown up in age, are living their life in the public, in the open. Things that are meant for the private are always there on the social media. That to me is immaturity. That to me is like a replica of a child being bait outside at a very young age when you are still shameless, when there's nothing like shame around you being naked in the public. And that is the way things are tending to us. You see people even fighting dirty. You see people posting pictures that are meant for the private consumption in the public. You see people traveling and they are recording themselves traveling. Every little detail about their life is up in the air. But the reality is, to be sincere, these are not sustainable. When you open your life to people and some people begin to make dirty or wrong comments, then you throw up a fight. You are not comfortable with it, but you have invited people into your secrecy. You have invited people into your private life, and that has beginning to creep in into marriages as well. You are bringing what is happening in your home into the open for people to begin to throw their maybe garbage. People may have good advices, people may have bad ones, and then it's beginning to touch on marriages. But beyond that, I think the Bible has warned us as Christians that the heart of man, like our heart, is the gateway to everything our life will become. The Bible says we should guide our heart with all diligence.
Hmm.
If you are a kind of person that is spending several hours daily on social media, then you should know that there'll be a lot of garbage consumption. You'll be consuming contents that are not good for your souls, that are not good for your marriages, that are not good for for your growth and for your health. And that is where control needs to come in. And what are the ways by which you can control yourself? Is by setting a boundary. Like the host has mentioned, what are the ways? Set a boundary. There are some social media platforms that you don't even have business there any longer. You have grown beyond that. And there are some that you know what you are picking out of that. You are learning something and you still need to set times around them. For the sake of time, let me allow my wife to also make contribution on practical things.
Yeah, I think she wants us to give examples. If any example come to your mind as I'm also talking, please feel free to chime in and mention them.
Yeah.
But when he was talking about social media and he was talking about recording their travel, I thought maybe the person is a travel vlogger. But the truth of the matter is, it's easy to assume that we have a lot of control. I think the first example I want to give is the fact that whatever thing we see, whatever thing we hear, whatever thing we spend time on influences the way we think. There's no way you want to separate it. And at the end of the day, staying very long in the public space where everything is permissible, like you can't control that.
Yeah.
Anybody can say anything or do anything or advise anything. At the end of the day, it affects the quality of our thinking. I think that's one example I want to give. For example, normally in Africa, or let me say West Africa, which I'm much more used to, proposals were not things that will make public or you make a lot of noise about. But since this drama around every proposal became something that is featured in social media, even church people now who are already in relationship still want to stage that proposal of I'm giving the person a ring as if they've not been in a relationship, as if the relationship before was not meant to be, has not had a courtship. Like people were already in courtship. We also come to say, light all the candles, do the balloon or ocean side or on the street or in a train. Let me also like do the proposal. Those are ways that things are affecting and it is causing a shift in our culture. Another example that I can also think of is when you staying too long, technology, let's use technology for the
Yeah.
broad umbrella, social media or computer, gaming, whatever, affects physical interaction. So I've had an experience of people who were talking on a social media handle, they are in the same physical space, but they did not know one another. Because you know, on the social media, you have different names, like your username is what is known. They are in the same physical space, but they did not know because they were friends on a social media handle where they can gist for so long, but physically they don't even talk to one another. So that's another challenge with this thing. It's affecting communication. People are much more comfortable talking with someone they have not seen, someone they don't know, than people that are in their physical space. And people can share almost anything, even making professional decision, doing different things. People are free to like paste that on social media groups and stuff like that, rather than talk to people they can physically see and like gauge what their interest is in them. And another example, you have an example coming up. I see
No,
so.
I'm just remembering. I'm remembering different things because, yeah, I remember that sometimes ago I did not even want to study computer in the college because there was one feeling, one theory in those days, many years ago, that the computer is going to ruin the world. And for Christians, the best thing is to stay away because there are a lot of evil. And I remember that one of the reasons why such theories were coming up were, in those days, you are far away from temptations. If you don't go to cinema hall, if you don't go to party, you don't
Now
really
you have
have
it. Now
access
you have it just in front of you at your
from,
fingertip.
and like the topic says, from ideal to Wi-Fi, because Wi-Fi, even in the restroom, in the bathroom, in the toilet, you can still have access to Wi-Fi. Your phone is still connected. In your bedroom, your phone is connected. It's like having cinema beside you.
Just
So that
beside
even in the middle of the night, all you need to do is to just press and open it up and you see anything you want to see in the world. So the temptation is nearer,
than
closer than
before.
before, nearer to you in your bathroom, nearer to you in your bedroom, nearer to you at office, nearer to you in the even in the transportation, in public transport or in your vehicle is nearer. So
In fact,
yeah,
the all right, sir.
go ahead. Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I was just about talking about the issue of couples. Couples that before marriage, before they started their marital journey, they were like 5 and 6. They will talk. I talk, oh, are you fine? Are you okay? Okay, I just called to check on you. And this, they will call as many times as possible. Now, the digital era is here, and then the husband is so busy working on the laptop, it's even difficult to create 10 minutes of the 24 hours in a day to even look at the wife's face like, oh, this is my wife. Oh, look at how beautiful you are. Or even the side of, or talking about the wife too. The wife is so busy on the laptop 20 Monday to Friday, just busy on the laptop. Fine, they are living together under the same roof, but they don't even have the time to look at each other. Oh, this is the woman I married. This is the man I married. Is she okay? Is she fine? No connection at all. Everybody is just busy on the laptop. And then it has made everyone become, even couples, to become housemates. Just
Yeah,
eat, work, and go to bed. No
yeah,
connection. And gradually the love is is fading. Gradually the connection, they are drifting apart. So this is just a major concern. That but when you now get to see people, like the way things are is creating more of distance under the same roof but separated. So this is a major concern. Like, how do we get to maintain a balance? Technology has its good side. Of course, like Sister Bumi said, there are some people whose work is just based on the computer. There is nothing they can do without the computer. But at the same time, how can there be a balance such that the marital bond will still be intact, such that even the kids can see genuine love between their parents, and then parents can pass on this love to their kids.
yeah. So if I'm a little biased because my work is in the computer I'm in the computer world, and there is no way for people like us, and especially the way the world is going digital, there is no way to separate the use of technology even inside the home. But what we need to emphasize is what are the things that we can do to make sure it's not even affecting relationship. If you are talking about laptop, the two we need to consider it from the aspect of what is he or she busy doing on the laptop. Is it work related every time? Is it that he's watching news on the laptop? Is it that he's chatting on the laptop? What is he or she busy doing on the laptop? If it's about work, then if you're already doing more than 8 hours for your office daily, is not healthy. There may be sometimes that you have extended hours that you need to fix some things. But if it's beyond 8 hours, from 8 to 4 p.m. or 9 to 5 p.m. daily, it's not the best. There are situations that you may not be able to cover what you need to do within the 8 hours, and it extends to some part of the night. But if it's becoming a regular thing, then your home or your family is going to suffer. Even if not your spouse, your kids are going to suffer. So for marriages, it needs to get to a level that we have an agreement that, oh, by this so time, all gadgets should be off. If you need to do anything on the gadget, maybe to pay some bills or maybe to quickly check up some information or quickly make a maybe like 15 minutes random things that you need to do, not as if in the night you are still with computer for 2 hours, 3 hours. That is not healthy. We need to tell ourselves the truth because all of these things are here to stay. And if we are not careful, they will shape our lives, they will shape our relationships, and they will shape our future. So there has to come a time that we sit down as couple and agree that at this time, let's do away with gadgets, with technologies. And at some point, if any one of us has an extended thing to do, it should be glaring that this is once in a while. It is not something that is consistent, something that is regular. Everything boils down to what is this person doing on the computer after office hour? How long is this person staying on the computer after office hour? Is it doing something for the family at that time? Is it doing something for the relationship at that time? Or is it just being selfish, watching personal things, or trying to chat up with friends, even when you need to spend time with the family? So we need to set boundaries. And if we are going outside our boundaries, then we know that we are heading for a disaster.
Wow.
I don't know to call it a doom.
I think that Ifemi we Akinlade is sharing something with us in the comment section. He said technology is not a problem. Thank you very much, sir, for your contributions. You're welcome. Really appreciate your time with us. So, sir, I would like to hear from you in the comments. What do you think the problem is? He said technology is not a problem. So, I'd like to hear from you, sir. What do you think the problem is? Okay, while we wait for Daddy Femi's response, let's hear
I
from Sister Bombi.
Yeah, I think it was reinforcing a comment that Stubborn made at the beginning of the session that technology
Okay.
is not the problem, that
Oh, okay,
people
okay.
people are the problem.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, let's hear from Sister Bombi.
I'm going to just continue from what Buffalo said about like boundaries. I think it's important to first of all, I would say as spouse, husband and wife, if you think your spouse is spending too much time with technology, call their attention to it because it is not every time that this is intentional. So, for example, I think part of the challenge we have with the digital world that we are in now is it's easier to take work home. Work is no more the regular like 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 that we are used to because now you can carry your device home and on that device work can continue anytime. And now come to this age of after COVID, work from home became more popular, such that people are now going to the office every day again. So if you don't go to the office and you're at home from morning till evening, if one is not careful, it becomes difficult to demarcate between when work starts and when it ends, because you are interfacing your work time with personal time because you are working from home. So it's important to, if you observe that your spouse is like spending too much time or something like that, it's important to call it out, because if you don't call it out, they might not be necessarily conscious of it. For like using, I think last weekend we were with a family, like they were eating dinner and I was working because I had to quickly like close on some things, and we were just joking that while others were eating food, I was with a laptop on the dining table with them. So in that case, I'm spending time and working at the same time with them. So, and that's the reason why I said it's important to mention it to your partner. And it is not just laptop, phone calls, phone chats, people, and it's easy to be addicted to something and you don't know. It takes another person to sometimes see you. So, like you walk into a space now, it's a common thing. Walk into a public space, whether it's young or old, everybody is like this on their phone doing something. So sometimes it's not the person may not exactly see it. You need to call their attention to it and be like, oh, you've been on the phone since we came in. What are you even doing? What are you even chatting about? That is when you can like have that conversation. And I also think that another boundary, like you said, boundary that should be set. For example, work should be separated from fun as much as possible, so that when you see me with my office laptop, you know I'm working. It is not that I'm on my office laptop and I am watching a movie or I'm chatting on WhatsApp or I'm scrolling through Instagram because I have everything on my work laptop. That is not ideal. Work should be separated from fun. In that case, people are able to know what exactly you are doing, and some other controls as well. For some people, it is no laptop in the room. For some people, it is we drop our phones on a particular place at night or something like that. In that case, it's because of those boundaries, everybody is able to help one another to create time and space for one another. But like I said, it boils down also to communication and calling your partner's attention to it. It is like finding a new like finding a new passion. That is what I see this technological growth looks like. For like the example Brother was giving the other time, like Facebook connected a lot of people to people they have not seen in decades. And it is not bad that it connected them, but when the connection begins to affect, so
The family.
the family, so it usually first of all comes with an excitement of, oh, I meet this person, it's been a year that we spoke, so, or 10 years since we left secondary school, I don't even know where they are. But after you connected, there should still be control, not that it becomes like the new norm that you are not even able to like separate yourself from that space.
Wow. Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much, sir, for these amazing contributions. Like we've seen the practical examples by which people are affected, marriages are affected with technology. Now, I'll also like Brofala and Sister Abumi has already shared some of the controls by which we can actually strike a balance. Now, we'll still look into other ways by which we can still maintain a balance such that our homes do not suffer. Like, for example, people working from home, people working remotely, whether the husband or the wife, and before you know it, the husband has been working since morning, and then the only time he has is just to eat and get back to work, and before you know it, everyone is in bed. The husband is still doing one to another. And even when the husband is not even working, maybe on the phone, I've met quite a couple of guys like that, that I ask them, what do you do in your free time? I'm playing games. I'm like, playing games? How do you interact with your wife? Do you even create time to, you've been busy from morning till evening, and then you now get back home again, you sit with, you still be playing games. How do you strengthen the bond of love between you and your spouse? So for people like this, how can they maintain a balance such that it will not be, their new partner will not be the phone? They are busy with work, and then the latest thing, the next thing you see is they are just busy with the phone. And before you know it, 24 hours is gone. Another day is here. The same trend all through the week. And it keeps going like that. No time, no couple time, no, nothing. Nothing to bring them together. Everybody is busy with the phone.
Yeah, that's really a very straightforward example, and that is common. But one thing I want to mention is it's easy to slip into that kind of lifestyle if you don't watch it. It's very easy to slip into that kind of lifestyle that you get back from home and you get into your personal things when you are married. Is either the husband is playing game, watching news, or chatting, or doing different kind of thing, and the wife is on her own too. It's very easy. But one of those ways to control that is like Stabme has mentioned, is like demarcations, like okay, rules like after this so hours, we keep these things off. Some of those things that I've practiced with my wife in time past, we are still learning and growing. But some of those things that we have done is to make sure that we are watching the same thing in the evening. Sometimes we watch a documentary together that we can learn so that we now begin to share our views. Ah, what do you see to that? Oh, I don't really think I believe in what. I don't think I believe in what that man said. The woman should have acted differently. And usually, we don't usually, except for recommendation, we don't just watch, let's say, a movie. We don't just watch fictions. We watch true life stories so that we can learn. We can know what is happening to people and how people have suffered terribly by their decisions or indecisions. So most time in the evening, when we have free time, we sit together and say, let's watch something, real life stories, so that we can learn from it, we can share our view, and we can put ourselves in those people's shoes and say, okay, if it happens, how should I act? What will be the best way? As a child of God, as somebody that is growing, as somebody that is matured and exposed and experienced and educated, what should I do in this kind of situation? Oh, these are the so spend time with your spouse so that you'll be able to reason on things together. It will help your bonding. And we need to do this consciously. We need to be conscious. It's not just about free time, it's about making time out for this. There are times that we watch messages together, Bible studies together, so that we can cross reference and check. Oh, I don't think I believe in that. Oh, that is a wrong doctrine I used to hold. But now let's check into in the light of the scripture. Then we listen to different people. We watch skits together as well. We laugh together. We crack jokes together and all of those. Spend quality time with your spouse, not just about you having self fun. Self fun will not last. But when it is corporate fun with your spouse, it will last longer.
Wow.
Um,
Corporate fun, yeah.
uh, and another thing I want to say is, I think as we grow, not even just as we grow, even for younger people, it's not advisable. You don't need to be on every social media handle: Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp,
Twitter,
Twitter, this and
this and
that.
that.
Like, the thing is, except you are selling markets there. I know that with, for example, how many YouTube videos did we have before? But it grew by millions because YouTube was paying, and because YouTube, anybody just like create any content, whether the content is useful for you or not. So it's important to like have all of those control. For example, if you watch YouTube, you don't need to subscribe. If the channel is not what you want to follow, because then you receive notifications and all of these things, and you are not able to control what you're even watching. So one should be mature enough to know what is important. If social media is actually for my connection, if WhatsApp is what is working for me, let me stay with WhatsApp. But by the time you do WhatsApp, you go to Instagram, from Instagram, you go to
From
Twitter, from
Twitter to
TikTok,
Twitter, you,
Facebook,
ah,
from
did you see this
Facebook
TikTok.
post?
to
Like
Snapchat.
TikTok, like sometimes when some people are sharing about, this one is now married now, this one is now looking for something, he just had a new baby, he just bought a new car. People that don't even know that you
Other people's
exist, you are
business.
occupied with their business, so you are not going to miss out on anything. Pick the one. You don't need to be everywhere. Pick the one that works for you. So that is one counsel I want to give about social media. Another thing is, like they always say, or I always like tell people around me, tell my kids to work before fun. You don't wake up in the morning and start checking this. Like people send me messages on WhatsApp and things like that, but I don't check it until I'm done with work in the evening. Because once I start responding to you, there's the tendency to continue to, like, this person sees you are online, they quickly send you a message, they say this, and it looks like, oh, and I don't want to ignore them. You create time for that. Work before fun. You don't wake up in the morning and start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and stuff like self control is a fruit of the spirit. Self control. Every human should have that, because
Yeah.
then we yield to anything. So you should have that self control. Look at what is affecting you and create control over it. It's not wrong to love playing games, but you don't do, it's just like
Don't do
some
it at
men
the
at the
expense of
expense of
other.
your
Yeah.
relationship. It's just like men who love is this soccer, that they have to just watch soccer. Some people will say soccer is only fun when you are watching it with your friends. Like once a while thing can be okay, but you must also create time for your spouse. Like if you know it's fun watching it with your friend, what is fun doing with your wife as well? And what is your wife's fantasy? So if the husband loves soccer and the wife loves movie, then you create time for both of them so that you are both in one another's world. It's not like it is about one person, and like you said, corporate fun. Think of it together. How do you have fun together? So that's important. And to people who are working on the in the technology space, like we said, there should be boundary. You should know when work is over. Of course, there will be days, like Brofola has said before, a service is down, you are the supervisor, you need to do things. Those are once in a while thing. It doesn't happen like that every day. There must be boundary. Um, when things are down for you, your work will not stand for you. It is the people, it is your family. If you fall sick today or something happens to you, work will say, oh, this person has been a very great contributor. We love you, but
And they will move on.
we have to let you go. It is your family that will remain with you. So prioritize things. What is the utmost priority for you? So, and you treat people according to that priority. And like they say, sometimes we take for common people who are very close to us, but you should remind yourself every day of the importance of those people in your life, so that you will remember that when the chips are down, they are all you've got.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir and Ma. And as we bring this discussion to a close, I would also like to add one more thing, like Brufala and Sister Bumi said. It's all about being intentional. Being intentional. Finding time. It's so easy for us to be carried away, but we just need to intentionally create that time, whether you work in the technology, whether you work in the tech field or not, whether you work remotely or not. When you have the mindset that you are not alone, you have a partner, and you cannot afford to do all these things at the expense of your partner, like Sabumi shared, family over everything. So create time, maybe once or twice in a week, or maybe, yeah, maybe once or twice in a week. You can just create that time, just myself and my spouse, myself and my family. I've been busy all through the week. This time we need to bond together. And if you are not intentional about it, I tell you, you will easily be carried away that you forget completely, and everybody will just be in their own worlds. So I think we just have to be intentional with everything that we do. And like the Bible says, that whatever we do, all should be done to the glory of God. Let's continue to look inwards. What I am doing, does it give glory to God? Will God be happy? Is my wife happy? Is my spouse happy? And I believe this will also help us in the long run. Thank you very much, Sai and Ma. As we come to a close on today's episode of Ginseng Matters with Roy, would like to have something to take home with for all our viewers out there.
Yeah, I would like to draw First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 that says that you should mind your own business. Minding your own business is minding your own life, minding your own family. It's not as if you should not show love to others. It's not as if you should not chat with others. You should not get engaged with others online or the rest, or sharing other people's stories. But first of all, figure yourself out. Figure your family out before you begin to think about handling other people's business, before you begin to think about handling other people's stories, other people's concerns, other people's feelings, other people's engagement. First of all, mind your own business. Finish your own business. Mind your own family time before you begin to think about. If you have not figured yourself out, how will you figure other people out? How will you help other people? So that is my own take home.
For me, I would say technology is a tool. Use it wisely. You can either use it to your advantage or disadvantage. So use it wisely.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir and Ma, and to all our viewers out there, to everyone who had time to join us, and everyone will be watching the replay of this live conversation. We want to say a very thank you, and it would be a very good thing if you could share this video out to your friends and any other person that you believe could benefit greatly from this discussion. Is a timely one, is a practical one. God bless you, and so we'll see you again on our next episode on Jane Say Matters with Roy. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Bye, and God bless you. Jane Say Matters. Come back to Jane Say Matters on Jane Say Matters. It's Jane Say Matters. Yeah, it's still Jane Say Matters with Roy. It's still Jane Say Matters with Roy. Right now, it's Jinsei Matters. Come back to Jinsei Matters on Jinsei Matters. It's Jinsei Matters. Yeah, it's still Jinsei Matters with Roy. It's still Jinsei Matters with Roy. Right now, it's Jinsei Matters. Come back to Jinsei Matters on Jinsei Matters. It's Jinsei Matters. Yeah, it's still Jinsei Matters with Roy.